Good morning, guys. Happy Tuesday. Hopefully, you guys had a good weekend, and hopefully, you guys had a great Labor Day. If you guys did anything for that with family, hanging out with friends, or just enjoyed the time off. Just a couple things I want to go over quickly before we get into the next hour. We got 4 minutes until the close of opening range, and really quick, I just want to go over the bias for the week. So, if we actually jump up to the 1 month time frame, one thing I want to point out first is last week we did see price move down and then bounce off of a monthly fair value gap. We kind of talked about that a little bit on Thursday's session, if you guys recall, very briefly, as we really noticed it because we hadn't really looked at the monthly chart in a little bit. But now looking at the weekly, not really seeing a whole lot in terms of imbalances to the downside that we need to go mitigate in the short term. If anything, I would say in this weekly perspective, it would make more sense, in my opinion, that we would then go visit some buy side liquidity. I think if we were going to see this fair value gap on the weekly with this structure, I feel like we would have seen it without having this kind of a respect bouncing back up to here. But anything obviously is in play. We'll see. What I think would need to happen first in order for us to, look here would be if this daily fair value gap ends up failing. So if this daily fair value gap, we start seeing daily candles come down below 50% of this fair value gap and then start closing, underneath it or just below that fair value gap altogether. At that point, I think, you'd probably just look to aim at that weekly fair value gap, all these levels for sell side liquidity. But until that happens, I would favor this as a potential area where we would look to seek higher prices because of the way that we look on the weekly time frame. Then dropping down to the 4 hour, we're obviously looking at NASDAQ. So a lot of this can just be applied to the S&P as well. But looking at NASDAQ currently on the 4 hour, we see that we took out this 4 hour high at the end of last week. So that daily fair value gap that we were shooting for at the end of last week actually did get mitigated at the end of the week finally. And then we see price on Friday for NFP begin to sell off a little bit. So that's where we're currently at. I still would like to favor this bullish fair value gap down here to get traded to. However, we do have some buy side liquidity resting right up here on the 1 hour time frame. We got buy side here with a little fair value gap, and then we've got obviously this fair value gap up here that never really got delivered to the 50% consequent encroachment level. So what I'm curious to see would be, maybe we see price take out opening range low, which would be, I changed my chart over to New York time zone, by the way, so that's why this might look a little bit different. I did a little YouTube backtest video yesterday, so just to make it simple, I changed it to New York time zone, and I'm just going to leave it for now and see how it feels trading with with this time zone, I guess. But it might be a little bit unorthodox. I might get it wrong a couple times as I'm used to being 1 hour behind, but we'll try it out. So we got opening range low, which would be, where's 9 o'clock? Okay, so 9:30. So 9:35 right here. This would actually technically be the opening range low right there. Sell side, there we go. So we can see if this yields any sort of a reaction up to this buy side liquidity up in here. But that'd be about it, guys. I mean, if we see this pretty much fail and displace through these lows, at that point, I think it would be very reasonable to, shoot for that daily fair value gap down there. Otherwise, I would like to potentially get long off of this sweep of the opening range low. We already took out, I believe, the London low. Let's drop back out here. I take that back. No, we didn't. We would be shooting for the London high. The London low technically would be right here. But we saw price already deliver down to this 15-minute inefficiency and have a nice respect. We saw price break structure back to the upside from here. So, so now that we've taken out opening range low, like I said, as long as we don't displace through here, I would like to then see this start working back up higher, and we can target opening range high, which would be right here. Opening range high, and then obviously we got that 1 hour buy side liquidity up there as well. Let's see here, turn all this back down. Boom. Perfect. So we'll see what we get here, folks. See what we get. But yeah, just to recap, back out on this daily time frame. This is what I would expect overall. First would be this delivery down here, and we're going to play this one of two ways. Either we see price displace through these lows toward that fair value gap, in which case we'll try to get positioned to trade down into there. Otherwise, it's the day after a holiday. I feel like we could see a little bit more seek and destroy conditions today, which is pretty normal. We're going to be definitely looking to take low-hanging fruit, take profits. We're not going to, at least I'm not planning on holding any like big runners today. I'm going to just take, low-hanging fruit and get in and get out if we can do that. So that's going to be my plan. We just took out opening range low. I'll just mark that out. We'll just do, we'll do OR low. And then we got buy side up here in the form of opening range high. And we'll look for SMT here. So let's double this up. Let's look at ES over here, and then we'll look at NQ over here. Perfect. And then yeah, ES right there. Real quick, 15-minute. Okay, so ES is tapping into this 15-minute fair value gap. Not really any bearish SMT that I'm seeing at the moment, or a bullish SMT. I can't say I've looked at ES as much. I did mark it up. A lot of the weekly bias that I have on NQ does line up with ES. We just might be a little bit closer to these points of interest on one or the other, depending on if it's a bullish or a bearish POI. We'd like to see if we can get this fair value gap entry. Nice little order block here as well on the 1 minute. We'll see how this forms. Purple. So we'll let this close. We got 25 seconds or so left on it, and then we'll see where we're at. But yeah, opening range low taken out. We'd like to target opening range high, and potentially that liquidity right above. But yeah, crazy times, man. Crazy times. I mean, I really don't know. I really don't know, obviously, what it will look like 5 to 10 years from now. I'm under the impression that, I mean, these people can't get away with this stuff forever, man. It's like regulations need to step in, because it just can't happen. Like you can't have an industry that's just full of nothing but just liars, and like people getting, like real people with real money getting hurt as a result of it. It just can't happen. Cannot happen. I'm going to get long inside that fair value gap, guys, if it does pull back on this very next candle. Let me hide the chat here quick. Sorry. I'm just going to keep it light risk today, guys. Day after a holiday. No reason to go crazy, but good setup here in my opinion. And yeah, we'd like to get this pull back into the gap. Hopefully it does. Looks like we will get this fair value gap to stay open. This candle closes in 3 seconds. I'm going to put the limit order on right now. Stop is going below the fair value gap candle. You could put it below the actual low if you felt ever so inclined to. I'm just gonna go with this. This is super tight, super light risk. Only, what is it, 11 points, 10.75 points. So let's see if we get this pull back into the order block fair value gap. And yeah, we'll target these levels up here, these levels of buy side. Oh, there we go. Got triggered in. Really tight stop here, guys. Targeting this low-hanging fruit. I will flip my bias if we displace all the way through these lows and start heading for that gap, but yeah, it's a good setup. Liquidity run, little market structure shift here, fair value gap. But yeah, nice reaction so far, guys. Nice. Sexy. We'll remove risk here, guys. Yeah, I just got the one contract out here. I mean, do I think we'll head for this? I'm gonna hide the chat one more time. Sorry. 1 hour. I think we will head for this 1 hour liquidity up here. I'm just targeting opening range high, basically. Nice little 1 to 3, almost 1 to 4. Some light to start the week off, start the month off. Get the feet wet. No, I mean, Top Step is U.S. regulated. That's the benefit of being U.S. regulated, is they can't do this shady stuff. I mean, if they do, they'll get shut down. Like, that's all right, guys. So I gotta stop that break even. If you kept risk on, I don't think that was a terrible idea, but like I said, I was 1 to 2. I wasn't willing to keep risk on anymore, so I'm out of break even there. But we'll see what we get. Yeah, nice reaction initially. 1 to 2 gave us 25 handles, right back to entry. We just created SMT at the low. ES ran out the low. SMT was just formed here when price redelivered back to that fair value gap. Wouldn't be surprised to see this thing push back higher. If you guys were still in this trade, I would just hold it. But yeah, nice SMT just got put in here. We'll see if that holds. I'm just going to sit out. I'm not going to chase it, get back in or anything like that. And I guess just to, commentate this a little bit. So like for me, and this is just how my psychology works as a trader, and I know that everybody's psychology is a little bit different. I would say that keeping risk on for a trade like this until your opposing liquidity level gets hit is technically, I would say more often than not, that's probably the right thing to do if there isn't another internal level that was already taken, or like a higher time frame inefficiency or something like that was slowing your trade up that you were running into, right? So like that's something to keep in mind, and keeping risk on is definitely, it makes sense. And I get that and definitely understand that. I would say for me as a trader, it's all about psychology. Yes, see what's happening. My psychology as a trader, we've talked about this, doing things in your trading management that help your psychology and you don't get so emotional. For me, what always bothered me in the past was letting a winning trade turn into a loser. So that's why sometimes you'll see me be a little bit more aggressive with, my stop loss. Because for me, like when this price came back down into here and we were getting really close to this, what would have been the low of this fair value gap and that low of that fair value gap candle where our stop loss was, at that point in the trade, that's where I would feel myself getting more emotional, and I wouldn't like that. I don't like feeling like that. I like feeling 100% confident, and I like feeling or seeing the trade deliver. And sometimes that does mean I get stopped at break even, and then the trade comes back and then goes back to, goes to target, which is fine. But my psychology and my emotions are just in a better place when I feel like we've moved over 50% to target, where I can just, why would I want to let this become a loser now? You know what I'm saying? So like that's where my psychology comes in as a trader, and not everybody will feel that way. But that's why sometimes not sometimes, most of the time you'll see me manage my trade like that. And that's just because that's what I found is best for me. And sometimes, yeah, this shit hurts when this delivers now. But it would hurt more if I let this become a loser. You know what I mean? And I'm like, damn, why didn't I just, you know what I mean? I play the what if game a lot more, and that's not how I want to be as a trader personally. So, it is what it is. But let me know if you guys have any questions, if you guys are still in, or if you guys held. I know I saw someone said that they got a worse fill or something, so I don't know if you guys went risk free or not. Let me know. Or if you guys got stopped at break even with me. Shucks. Another thing that did give me some confidence with the way we managed the stop loss was because this candle did come down beyond 50% of that fair value gap. So I felt like we're less likely to return to that fair value gap. If we just barely tapped into it, that'd have been one thing. But, we did already redeliver to that 50%. We just came down, a couple more times here. See the bodies show respect to that 50%. And ultimately showed respect to the low of the fair value gap. So in terms of precision, everything still checks out. There's the delivery right there. Daniel, congrats to you. Sounds like you were still holding and you were still in. So, not to beat any dead horses or anything, and I don't know everybody's situation in terms of like who's trading what, futures, forex, prop firms, live accounts, etc. But I'm assuming most people in the Discord and just most people in general in the trading space are trading forex, prop firms, and I would just temper your expectations, and I mean. Yeah, I mean, two is just I just at this point feel like it's not a bad idea to go favor things that are more highly regulated. That's really it. And just know that there's nothing wrong with trading, I guess, a CFD, Forex, B-Book broker, but you got to also be totally game to accept any and all the risk, which could include the brokers getting shut down, you losing all your money, the prop firm getting shut down, losing your funded account, all that type of stuff. Like, that's definitely within the realm of possibility, and there's nothing you can do. Literally nothing you can do at all. So, I would also recommend, if you are on live accounts, even using a CFD Forex broker. I've always felt this way. Like, these people that claim to have their 90% of their liquid net worth in a broker, one, they're lying, but two, it just kind of shows the irony of it all, because you're telling me your net worth is $500,000, let's just say, or even $100,000, and you're going to leave all of that in a unregulated B-Book CFD offshore broker that could take that money, shut your account down, and never talk to you again, and there's nothing you could do about it. Why would you do that? If anything, you just leave a little bit of money in there to trade with, right? You don't necessarily need to use proper risk management based on that account size in that scenario, but it's just not smart to just have, like, you have 10 grand in your name, you're gonna put 9 grand in a trading account that's offshore and regulated in the other side of the world, where if they could just close your account down, no warnings, no nothing, and just, you're done for. There's nothing you can do. Just be smart. That's all I can say. It is what it is. Just got back, tape reading from here on out. I'm just tape reading this setup, Nick. I'm tape reading this setup to go long because we didn't take out that Monday high yet on the futures chart. So tape reading that. Obviously, if somebody wanted to put risk on there, they could. I'm just choosing not to. So yeah, tape reading that. We'll see how that plays out. And then once that buy side level gets taken out, would like to visit possible shorts in the PM session, guys. Any questions before we hop off? Let me know. Going once, going twice. I guess not. Otherwise, yeah, I'll keep you guys updated in the Discord on PM session possibilities. We'll just have to obviously see where we're at, see if that buy side level gets taken out, and I guess if it doesn't get taken out, we'll just have to reanalyze and see where we think price will want to go over the PM session hours. Okay, guys? But have an amazing rest of your guys' Tuesday. If you guys need anything, obviously reach out. If you have questions about anything or need help or just want me to take a look at something. Otherwise, I will talk to you guys in a couple of hours. Enjoy your Tuesday, y'all. And welcome to September. Let's get it. Peace out, guys. Have a great day.